Hey, Jungle Explorer here, and today I'm going to be replacing the coolant thermostat on this 2004 Hyundai Elantra. I've done a previous repair on this. I actually replaced the radiator on this, and I'll throw a link up in the video to how to replace the radiator on this vehicle on the top right hand corner of the screen. But today we're going to be doing the thermostat on it, and the thermostat is right here. This hose goes into the thermostat back here. And in order to get to it, we're going to have to take some things out right here. It's just not too hard, but I'll walk you through the whole process. We'll disconnect the battery to start off with, and we'll get this thermostat out and get it replaced. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is take the positive battery cable off using a 10mm socket. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take this shroud off, and it's all 10mm, so just about everything on foreign cars is 10mm if it's a small nut. They love that 10mm. Okay, set this off to the side. Next thing we're going to do is remove the air breather housing. Let's first unclip the air breather. Let's go ahead and loosen this clamp right here so that we can remove the top part of the air breather housing. Now let's remove the air filter. So there's 3 bolts down here that we need to remove, and they're all 10mm. Now let's just work this out of here. Alright, so we're going to disconnect these right here. Alright, so this one's a little bit trickier to get off. It doesn't have like a button to push or something like that. I don't think they intended for this to actually be taken off. It's got a little permanent lock ring or lock clip in here. And you're going to have to get something small like a little screwdriver or tip of a knife in here and pull one of these legs out like that, and then get that thing to come up like that, and that's going to release it. Go ahead and take that thing out. Don't lose it because you need it later on. Grab hold of it, and then it will come out undone. So now that we've got those things undone, let's go ahead and unplug this thing. Press down right here and unplug that. Okay, so that I can find, there is no way to get this thing off. There may be a way, but I can't find it. I've tried everything under the sun. So we're going to have to work around this little housing here, and I don't want to break it. So there's 2 bolts. There's one right here, and there's one on the opposite side. We're just going to push this down. Now we're going to be using a 12mm socket, okay, to get this nut off of here. And just, I've got a long extension. Give me some room back here. Once it's loose, it should come out pretty good. Definitely want to make sure we don't drop this. Okay, so come in here. Same thing, take this nut off. Once it's loose, you should be able to hand turn it. Okay, so now this housing should break away, and we're going to pull that off there. Now we can see the thermostat. Now we just need to get that thermostat out of there. Okay, so this might be stuck a little bit in here. You might need to pry it out just a little bit to get it out. Get in there and grab our old thermostat. So there's the old thermostat. We're going to be putting a new one in and just putting it back together. So let's do that. So now we want to put our brand new thermostat in. Let's pull this stuff back here again. Okay, so now we need to get our new gasket in there, and let's try to keep it as clean as possible. We don't want to get any oil on the gasket surface or on the housing surface. So just work it in there. It'd be best to clean your hands before doing this. Wash them real good, get all the grease off of them. Okay, get it seated in there. All right, now go ahead and bring our housing up. That back in there. So now it's time to put our lock washer on here. And our nut. So we got to put this nut on here and then the one on the other side. You don't want to tighten this one up until you get the other one inside. Just tighten this one up finger tight here. Okay, now we'll go ahead and apply the other one and then tighten them up uniformly. So when we're doing this, we don't want to tighten up too much on one side. Just tighten until you get a little resistance, because you don't want to warp this thing. If you tighten too much on one side and then the other, you could warp the facing. This is a gasket, so we want to kind of apply pressure equally. I'm just kind of snugging it up on this side until I feel some little bit of resistance on it. Then I'll go back down to this side here, hit a little bit there, come up here, hit a little bit there, come back down here, get some there. Now you don't really want to over tighten this, just a good snug, and that should be it. Okay, so now we're just going to reconnect all these things. Now this one right here is that one that was kind of weird to take off. Okay, so go ahead and just push it back on there, and then take this little ring here, this little clip, and spread it out, get it in there, and you may need a screwdriver, but just press it all the way down. Okay, so that's locked on. Okay, so we're just going to put this one back on here. All right, this one should clip right here. We'll go ahead and push the housing back on here. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a test without the air breather on here. I'm just going to do I'm going to reconnect the battery, start the car, and make sure I don't have any leaks. Okay, so everything looks good. Don't see any leaks, any liquid leaking anywhere, so looks like we're good. Okay, so let's put our air breather housing back on. It slides down into this little thing right here. Put our air filter back in. Put the air filter housing top back on. And lastly, we're going to put our little engine shroud back on. Let's reconnect our battery post. And we are done. Well guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, this is the Jungle Explorer signing out.